And welcome in again. Hope you're having a great day, a great week, and I hope you're really enjoying the Gold Cup. And isn't it a great Gold Cup? I tell you what, I'm really impressed, entertained. I'm loving this Gold Cup, and I'm telling you, I'm thinking this is one of the best we've had so far, so pray that continue. I said that a couple of shows ago, but hopefully it does. So welcome in. Pre-game, Canada taking on Cuba. There's a lot of history that you're going to hear tonight that you've probably never heard before, ever. Even could be this morning, wherever you are. So wherever you are around the world, remember, like, subscribe, and like. Hit the notification button, guys. Hit that notification button and get all the alerts as they come in. But Cuba, Canada, great show we got coming for you. But before we move along, I want to get in some results from today so that you're really up to date on what's going on in and around the world of the Gold Cup. Now, today's results: Jamaica 5-0 St. Kitts and Nevis 0. USA 6-0 over Trinidad and Tobago. Honduras 2-1 over Haiti. Didn't I tell you about Honduras and possibly getting a result? And Mexico losing to Qatar. So the standings are as follow. USA finishes first in Group A. Jamaica finishes second. And in Group B, Mexico finishes first and Qatar finishes second, which means USA, Jamaica, Mexico and Qatar all move through. It's pretty interesting, and you might not know this. I hope you don't, because now you're going to get some real good stuff coming at you. Goals as well. But Los Leones de Caribe, the Lions of the Caribbean, or the Lions of the Caribbean. Yes, that's what they are, the Lions of the Caribbean. 20 years ago in the 2003 Gold Cup, we actually lost 2-0. 2-0 to Cuba. Take a look at the lineup. This was the lineup. So losing to Cuba, Lars Hirschfeld, who I've talked to so many times, it's just not even funny, but he is such a funny guy. Very sarcastic, got a great sense of humor, has Lars Hirschfeld, and was a top keeper. I actually played against Lars a couple of times, actually. Anyway, Jason DeVos, great stalwart from the national team, even till today. Nick Dasovic, Kevin McKenna, Paul Fenwick, Richard Hastings, Michael Canizales-Smith, yeah. Paul Stalteri, another great guy, Paul Stalteri, Chris Posniak, Daniel Imhoff, and Martin Nash. Now, talking head-to-head, you can see the scores up there. The last time we lost was 2003. The first time we lost was 1975. Most of you probably weren't alive because that was a different century. Just kidding. Most of you probably were alive because a lot of the fans on this program are not just youngins. We've got loads of young fans, and we got loads of middle-aged fans, and we got loads of older fans, and we got loads of senior fans. So the age group of this channel is mixed. And it's all over the place. It really is, like all over the little world. We got registration everywhere. So the head-to-head thing: 9 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses for Canada all time. The form for Cuba all time now is not what you would say the greatest, but you got to say they're a small nation. They're literally 166 ranking in the world. Remember, Canada's 45 ranking, FIFA ranking, Cuba 166. So you're looking at that face value, you're thinking Canada should be literally owning this game. But remember, I just said that 7-0 and Canada punching its weight as 45 in the world is when all those big guys are on the team. Remember that, because it does make a difference, has made a difference in these last 2 games, will be a difference maker in the next game too. But I'll tell you what, we're going into this game, I feel, with a better chance of a win than we were in the first 2. And realistically, look at this team. It's not the A team. It's a mixture of A and Bs. So they've got to find some happy platforms to get it going. But I think in this game against Cuba, there is a chance that they can grind out a win. It doesn't have to look pretty. Just get the win and let's get some respectability. I think really with this team achieving would be getting into the next round, because I don't know with this team that we can make it to the semi-final. Maybe injuries, maybe suspensions on other teams help us out. Maybe a shock result helps us out as well. And let's face it, we've had a few upsets. So lots to play for, but this team is not our A team, isn't the team that won 7-0 against Cuba in 2019, etc., is not the team that just went to the World Cup, etc. So we've got to keep it realistic. But got to say, the form for Cuba on 2023 this year, 6 games, 2 wins, 4 losses. I'll tell you who they played in 2023. March 24th, Barbados away was a 1-0 win. Respectable. March 26th, Guadeloupe at home, a 1-0 win. Cuba beating Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe, I told you about doing great in this competition. They are doing great. Ambrose, Phaeton, Graviol, all doing fantastic for the nation of Guadeloupe. Well, Guadeloupe, Cuba beat them 1-0 at home. So that tells you that they can take out a good team. Chile away, they lose 3-0. Uruguay away, June 20th, 2-0 loss. July the 1st, Guadeloupe in a rematch. Guadeloupe thumps them 4-1. That's here in the Gold Cup. And next game up for Cuba is obviously against Canada. So, looking at those results, nothing to scare you, nothing to make you think that they're going to jump at us and take the game and score goals on us by the bagful, because it's just not going to happen. If they score on us, maybe somebody lost an assignment, maybe somebody forgot where the lines were, maybe somebody just forgot to think for a moment, because that's all it would take for us to get scored on. Split second not thinking, bang, you lose your man, you're undone. Literally, it can happen. So, we can get scored on if it's someone not thinking, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to be turning up for this game pretty sound. Now, last thing I want to talk about is the lineup that we had against Guatemala. I think is going to be pretty much the same kind of ordeal that we are going to have against Cuba. I don't think we got many options. I think what we have in the last two games tells you what we're going to go with in this next game. I just would like to see fewer substitutions, as like ones or twos is probably the max. One substitution at a time. When you're putting three guys in, I just think you kind of stifle or you upset the flow of the game. So I really would hope that Johnny Herdman would put one guy in instead of three guys. Because like I say, three guys, hey, put five guys in. You might as well change the half team. You're changing the chemistry of the game. You're changing the flow of the game. Guys' little workings in the pockets and in between the lines and in the passing lanes, and they get used to finding each other exactly where they need to be. And all of a sudden, during the game, 60 minutes in, it starts to get nice and hot, and the passes are slick and everything's flowing and the moves really start taking form. And then you make a change of two or three guys and you lose that edge. And that's what happened in one of those games so far. So I want to see real, slow substitutions. Make three or four in the second half if you have to, but not all at the same time. It's not really a good thing. Situation of like the formation I think we're going to come with, possibly a mixture of a 3-4-3 into a 3-4-2-1. Probably start out with a 3-4-2-1. And obviously you've got the 3-5-2, which you can have with your wing-backs, but your wing-backs can play either of those formations. So I'm looking possibly somewhere between the 3-4-3 and the 3-4-2-1. I would say at the end of the day, we look good for a 1-0 win. I'm not looking for a thrashing. I don't think this is going to be the game where we turn up a new team. No, not at all. I think what we've seen in the last two games is what we've got moving forward. It's going to be a little bit frustrating, and the point is this. The early goal is a necessity. The early goal can help to stifle all those nerves, get the team calmed, get them to play within themselves and get to start to enjoy the pressure instead of being scared of the pressure. When you see a time and time again where it seems in the defensive mold and they're not connecting with each other and no one's pushing down the field to get an outlet or an outlet of another kind or two outlets where guys are getting brave going wide, so you've got someone to bring you up the field. When teams are playing within themselves, they're playing against a better team normally when they're trapped in their own half. I don't think we're going to be trapped in our own half. There's no need for that to happen. So let's play that ball around. Let's get some confidence going within this team. It's the final game. A win is needed. No matter what you think, we have to win this game. It is a must-win situation. It's now down to John Herdman to get this third game right. We don't need to dash out the box. It would be nice to get the early goal, like I say, but we don't need to dash out the box. Give yourselves 20 minutes to get that first real goal or first couple of moves on the net. Get the early goal, solidify the game, get in your stride, start passing it around and hold that ball. Love the ball. Don't rush the move. Start to own it like you're in control of the game. Right now, we've literally not passed it around like we could. And you could say, well, it's not the A team. And I'd say, you're absolutely right. But I'd say at the other time, you could train. And you could literally go into a training match program in your own mind where it's pass and move, pass and move, pass and move. You could forget about the crowd, forget about the game and the importance on it, and just go back to the basics, because all the footballers on our squad know the basics about triangulation, pass and move. It's something that you do right from the beginning as a kid. So sitting on top of the ball and owning the ball, just like I say about Dominic Zato, I want to see that guy pass it around and get on the ball and hold it and literally transition the play left to right and get people moving. That's something that we can do right across the team. So there I don't have a problem. The stature, the nature, the level of the two teams, our players, on average, are better than what Cuba's going to come out with. No disrespect to Cuba at all. But a fact is a fact. We have the players to overcome the situation and grind out at least a 1-0 win and possibly a 2. At the end of the day, I'm not looking for a draw. And I do not want another loss from 2003 because that is definitely not on the cards for me or you or the team. So getting ready for it. 1-0, 2-0 could be a great day. But don't look in for a game that's going to flow beautifully right from the start. I really feel it's going to be a bit of a frustrator in the first 20 minutes until we get that first goal. And the longer it goes that we don't have a goal on the board, the more Cuba may well grow into this game, just like what Guatemala did in the last game. Guatemala's a bigger team than Cuba in my money, but once you get that confidence up against a bigger team, which would be the case for Cuba going up against Canada in this game, well, you never know what can happen. David does slay Goliath once in a while. I just hope that we're not Cuba's Goliath on the day. Get ready for it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Come back for the post game. And by the way, thank you for everybody that likes, subscribes and likes and shares it all around. Get ready for the game. Get your popcorn ready. Get your pop ready. And get your comments ready right after on the post game video, because I'll be there for you. Cheers.